Once again, this is the Royal Financial Investment Group, and always, this is your host, Prince Dice, coming to you guys with another great, awesome video live here in Honolulu, Hawaii. Um, just wanted to share with you guys coming up this Friday, August 1st, April Fool's Day. It's a program. I'll probably throw a link into the description box called Refund to Riches. It was placed together by Miss Tara Jackson. She's a fiduciary insurance agent out of Atlanta, Georgia. Does a lot of things with finances. But she was recently on the Ricky Smiley show out in Atlanta, and while she was there, a lot of people was calling in asking, some people got their refunds and they wanted to be smarter, more financially savvy about them and stuff like that. So she went out and she placed together her own program and showing people how to. She brought in a best-selling author who's published over 3 books to show people how to publish their own book within 30 days. She brought in a real estate group that has flipped over like 5,000 houses, real estate properties to come in and show people how to get started in real estate. And then she brought me in to teach people how to get started in the stock market, how they can use their refunds to find ways to get involved with the stock market, a couple questions. She did an interview on me and stuff like that. So that'd be something great to check out. And she also brought the financial expert for Steve Harvey's show to come in and give out financial advice as well. So, and on business, how to start your own business, stuff like that. So it might be a great thing to tune into. Come out and support me on my first ever external event, and maybe some great things you may want to pick up on. But as always, I don't have a lot of time, and I definitely know you guys don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to jump straight into it. So as you guys can see, probably through the title of what I have up on the screen here, is a company called Herbalife, the Herbalife stock. Herbalife is involved in multi-level marketing, which one of the most popular companies is called Amway, that's been around the longest. What multi-level marketing is, I'm pretty sure if you never experienced it, you probably had that coworker, that friend, family member, or whatever that contacts you and says, hey, you want to get involved with my business? I started, and what you have to do is you have to buy a particular product. Sometimes it's healthcare products. For Herbalife, it is healthcare products and household goods, household products. You have to take this product. You have to buy it every month. Then you go out and you sell it to your friends and you sell it to your co-workers or whatever. And once you get these people up under you, once they start buying it, you get a percentage of what they buying, and so on and so on. Some people call them pyramid schemes, or some people call them scams, or whatever their feelings is on the business practice. So Herbalife stock, Eric Moore, who writes for Seeking Alpha, he said, he replied on, not replied, but he commented on one of the videos called the Nike versus Under Armour versus Nike, whichever one. And he's a writer, he's a contributor to SeekingAlpha.com. So he said, hey, do a video on Herbalife. And I'm a little bit behind on it. So I went through Herbalife and looking at what it had on paper. On paper, this is what I come to. On paper, Herbalife does not look, as bad as people may seem, because I did a lot of outside research. I know it does have a couple of investigations going on it. It has a couple of investigations going on, particularly to when you do your earnings call or when you report your earnings, and if you misstate something, you can get lawsuits because people listen to earnings calls and they say, "Wow, this is a good company to go with." They purchase your stock, and then you come out 6 months later and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I misstated. I didn't have 24,000. I meant 14,000." And then the stock, when people see that, the stock is going to start tumbling. When the stock starts tumbling, you just purchased this. You just purchased this stock off of what they said on another particular date. So what that happens is you have a lot of legal teams that's going to come out and start, filling out lawsuits, being on the side of investors, stuff like that, which is pretty common. If I'm saying his name right, Bob Ackman, he's a big hedge fund manager, and he's multi-million billionaire and on Wall Street. And he's been shorting. I've been seeing his name all over the place. Shorting Herbalife forever. So he's been shorting Herbalife for the last couple of years. I know. I want to say that he shorted it when it was like $47 or $57. But as you can see on my screen here, Herbalife trades for $61. Now, when I look at it on the surface, let me give you my personal opinion of the multi-level marketing business structure. So it trades for $61. It doesn't pay any dividends. It has a PE ratio of 10, which sits around about the industry average. It has had, 52-week average. It's gone from $39 to $63. When we look at some of the fundamentals is being, looking at its quick ratio looks nice. I don't have its other things pulled up, but it's no need because I remember it anyway. P ratio looks nice. The gross margin looks nice, which is very important. It has good numbers. I don't see anything that sticks off financially that sends off red bells. Now, one thing, when you look at the earnings, look at the future earnings, because right now, we're in the first quarter, going on the second quarter, 16. When you don't see too much growth that is projected out from 2016 to 2017, a company that doesn't pay dividends only can make money one way. If I purchase your stock, I only can make money if the stock appreciates in value. So, if in order for you to appreciate in value, at least people have to either you have to be overbroad or I need you to grow in earnings or revenue or something like that. So when you look at the first quarter 2016 compared to the first quarter 2015, you can see a steady, and compared to the first quarter 2014, you can see a steady decline in level. I don't like that. I like to see growth, especially for a company that doesn't pay dividends. I want to make my money one way. I don't like to see a decline, as you can see here, and I don't like to see it staying the same. So that's something that picks up off of my head, immediately when I'm looking at this. It's not too much change in here in annual revenue and estimates of what they are expecting to grow. Now, on the fundamental side of the house, you can pull up the investment profile report while that's pulling up. But now, while that's pulling up, we're going to talk about the business fundamentals itself. I think a multi-level marketing business, if you are at the top, if you're the person that created it, I think it's an ingenious idea. This is why. Because think about it. Now you have a business that you don't pay the employees, because the employees recruit each other and they pay each other through the setup. That's the system that's set up the way you get a person up under you later on and later on. So you don't pay the employees. Second, you don't have to give them any benefits, life insurance, health and care, whatever, blah blah, because by them making their money, they do it themselves. Third, you don't even have to pay for advertising, because how do you find out about most of them? Somebody calls you, they tell you on social media, they send you a letter, whatever the case may be. Usually, the people that are being recruited, they do the recruiting of other people. They tell their family members, friends, co-workers, associates, or whatever. So advertising, you don't have to do. You don't have to pay the employees. You don't have to do advertising as much, because the employees are going to buy. You don't have to buy employee clothes or worry about lights, water, gas, buildings, stuff like that. You don't need any buildings, because maybe one for the headquarters, but you don't need a bunch of buildings like, let's say, a brick and mortar like Walmart or brick and mortar like CVS, because these people are Walgreens, whatever, because the people that are recruited, they're going to turn their living rooms into your building. They're going to set up their living room. They're going to bring in their friends, family, and buddies. So at the top of it, it seems like a great thing. You cut out a lot of overhead. You don't pay the employees. Maybe a couple of people at your corporate quarters, but you don't have to pay the employees. You don't have to buy them uniforms. You don't have to buy them clothes. You don't have to buy them anything, and the business just runs. So as they recruit each other, you make more money. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is pretty much put together a convention, keep them excited, keep good products coming out, and let the system run itself. Maybe you can do a little advertising here or there. But so from the outside looking in, from the top, it doesn't seem like a bad thing. Now, while you see some people may dislike them because they say, hey, the person comes in at the bottom, and when they're in at the bottom, they don't make any money. They don't make any money. It's bad recruiting, stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. So from the bottom, people look at it as, this is a bad company. It's a bad thing. Herbalife's only been around for 35 years, so it's relatively new in the realm of business per se, or retail. Maybe it's a new way of things that people haven't caught on to. For example, when University of Phoenix 10, 15 years ago said, hey, we're going to do an online school, people thought it was crazy. It's a scam. It's this, that, whatever. But you fast forward to 2016, who doesn't go to school online? Everybody's going to school online. Every school, I don't care, the Ivy League or whatever, they have an online program. So it could be one of those situations too, where it's a new way of coming to do business, and the first person that goes across the hill always catch a lot of the arrows. Meaning that if you're first, you're always going to be considered the ugly guy or whatever. So the stock is heavily shorted by a lot of top industry people. So I was looking into it myself. Now, this wouldn't be a stock I would go out and buy per se. It's not one that I would say, hey, I would look at into buying this one. But I don't think it would be an overly short stock that I would say, hey, I got to, buy puts against this or play shorts against it or whatever. But that's just my review. I think from the top, it's a great business idea, something I would keep an eye on just in case it does start tumbling. On the financial side, as you can see here, the only thing I didn't see it growing like it was supposed to. I don't like that. It doesn't pay any dividends, so that's why it's off my map. I don't see future growth, estimated earnings, or whatever. Maybe it may surprise, but it's not paying dividends as well. So I don't like that as far as an investor standpoint. I didn't see anything on paper that stuck out in my eye that said, hey, PE ratio looks nice, And also, earnings per share has been declining. Dividends had declined. They used to pay dividends, so now they're not paying dividends. I don't like that either. So, not my cup of tea of purchasing, but it's not something I say, hey, I see blood in the water or whatever, and I could understand on the same side why people think it's a bad business or why it's going to fail. But then again, I can see why it's an ingenious idea. So hopefully, you took something away from that. You kind of learned something, took from that. But that's just my review. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, all of the good stuff. Don't forget to check out Refunds to Riches if you have time on Friday, April 1st. And I put the link below. And until the next video, you guys already know what to do. Peace, be safe. Bye-bye.